In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the sands whisper tales of gods and pharaohs, Anubis stands as a figure of haunting beauty and solemn duty. As night falls over the Nile and the stars begin their eternal vigil, the story of Anubis unfolds, a tale woven with threads of mystery and reverence. Anubis, the god of the dead, was not born into the world of Egyptian deities like a typical god. His origins are wrapped in the mists of time, where ancient stories and early beliefs come together. Picture a world where the concept of life after death was not merely an abstract idea but a living, breathing reality that guided the actions of every soul. In this world, Anubis emerged as a vital figure, his role deeply rooted in the beliefs of the people who revered him. In the early days, Anubis was depicted with the head of a jackal, a creature often seen prowling the deserts and graveyards of Egypt. This haunting appearance was not merely for show. The jackal's presence around tombs and the desert's edge symbolized the boundary between life and death, the known and the unknown. Anubis was the guardian who watched over this fragile line, ensuring the safe passage of souls to the afterlife. His image, with its dark fur and keen eyes, was a reminder of the sacredness and seriousness of the journey that awaited every soul. The earliest depictions of Anubis reveal a god deeply entwined with the rituals of death. In the Old Kingdom, he was not yet the prominent deity of the underworld that he would become. Instead, he was a protector and a guide for the deceased, involved in the preparation and protection of the body for its journey to the next world. His presence was crucial during mummification, a sacred process designed to preserve the body for eternity. Anubis's role was to oversee this process, ensuring that the deceased was properly prepared for their meeting with the gods. As time passed and Egypt's civilization evolved, so did Anubis's role. By the time of the Middle Kingdom, his position had grown in importance. He was no longer just a guardian of the dead, but also a crucial figure in the judgment of souls. The famous scene of the weighing of the heart became central to Anubis's mythology. In this scene, Anubis was depicted weighing the heart of the deceased against the feather of Maat, the goddess of truth and justice. This ritual determined whether the soul was worthy of entering the afterlife or would be devoured by Ammit, the fearsome beast that symbolized unworthiness. The transformation of Anubis from a guardian to a judge reflects a broader change in Egyptian beliefs. As the concept of the afterlife became more complex, so did the role of Anubis. His duties expanded from merely overseeing mummification to actively participating in the judgment of souls. This evolution mirrored the growing sophistication of Egyptian religion and the increasing emphasis on moral and ethical purity. Anubis's influence continued to grow through the New Kingdom and beyond. During this time, he was depicted not just as a solitary figure but as part of a larger pantheon. His association with Osiris, the god of the afterlife, became more pronounced. While Osiris was the ruler of the afterlife, Anubis was his loyal and indispensable assistant. Together, they represented a duality that was central to the Egyptian understanding of life, death, and what lay beyond. As Egypt entered the later periods of its history, Anubis's role continued to evolve. His image became more refined, reflecting the changing tastes and artistic styles of the times. Despite these changes, the core aspects of Anubis's character remained constant. He was, above all, the protector of the dead, the guide to the afterlife, and the judge of souls. His presence was a constant reminder of the ancient Egyptians' deep reverence for the mysteries of death and the journey that followed. In every corner of Egypt, from the grandest tombs to the simplest grave sites, Anubis's influence was felt. His figure stood as a beacon of hope and reassurance in a world where the afterlife was as real and significant as life itself. The evolution of Anubis's role over time is a testament to the enduring nature of Egyptian beliefs and the deep-seated reverence for the mysteries of the beyond. His story is a reflection of the ancient Egyptians' understanding of life, death, and the sacred journey that each soul must undertake. In the dim light of flickering torches, the haunting figure of Anubis emerges from the shadows of ancient tombs and temples. His presence, captured in the art and sculptures of Egypt, tells a story both profound and eerie. The image of Anubis, with his jackal head and human body, is not just an artistic choice but a powerful symbol laden with meaning. Anubis is depicted with the head of a jackal, a creature that roams the edges of the desert and scavenges the dark, mysterious places where humans rarely tread. This fearsome and majestic animal symbolizes Anubis's role as the guardian of the dead. The jackal's sharp eyes and alert posture convey a sense of vigilance and protection. This portrayal is not just an artistic whim but a reflection of Anubis's essential duty to oversee the journey of souls through the perilous afterlife. His body, typically portrayed as that of a strong, human figure, represents his role as a guide and protector, one who bridges the gap between the living and the dead. The jackal head of Anubis is more than just an outward appearance, it is a vivid symbol of his connection to death and the afterlife. The jackal was often seen near graveyards and the desolate edges of Egypt, where it scavenged the remains of the deceased. This connection with death and decay made the jackal an appropriate symbol for a deity who managed the passage of souls into the next world. The contrast between the dark, sleek head of the jackal and the human body underscores Anubis's unique role as both a protector and a figure associated with the mysteries of death. In addition to the jackal head, Anubis is often seen holding or associated with certain symbols that amplify his role in the afterlife. One of these symbols is the sistrum, a musical instrument used in religious ceremonies. The sistrum, with its rattling sound, is associated with the goddess Hathor and was believed to drive away evil spirits. When Anubis is depicted with this instrument, it symbolizes his role in maintaining the purity and sanctity of the afterlife, keeping away malevolent forces that might threaten the souls he guards. Another significant symbol associated with Anubis is the Ankh, the ancient Egyptian symbol for life. Often seen in Anubis's hand, the Ankh represents his role in preserving and safeguarding life beyond death. It signifies the eternal nature of existence and the continuity of the soul's journey. The Ankh's presence in Anubis's iconography is a reminder that death is not an end but a transition to a new phase of existence. The meaning behind Anubis's features and symbols is deeply woven into the fabric of Egyptian culture. His jackal head signifies vigilance and the ever-watchful eye of the deity who ensures the proper passage of souls. The sistrum, a symbol of purification and protection, reflects his role in safeguarding the deceased from harm. The Ankh, symbolizing eternal life, underscores the belief that while the body may perish, the soul lives on under Anubis's care. Anubis's appearance and symbols serve as powerful reminders of the ancient Egyptians' reverence for the mysteries of the afterlife. His figure stands as a guardian, a protector, and a guide, embodying the delicate balance between life and death. The artistic choices made in depicting Anubis are not merely decorative but carry profound significance, echoing the deep beliefs and fears of a people who look to their gods for protection and assurance in the journey beyond life. In the shadowy depths of the Egyptian underworld, where silence reigns and the air is thick with the whispers of ancient gods, Anubis stands as the steadfast guardian of the dead. His presence in the afterlife is not just a role but a solemn duty, as he escorts the souls of the departed through the mysterious and often perilous journey beyond death. Imagine the moment a soul leaves its earthly vessel, the body now silent and still. Anubis is there, waiting, his jackal head tilted in quiet vigil. His duty is to guide the soul through the dark, winding paths of the underworld, ensuring it reaches the judgment hall where its fate will be decided. This journey is fraught with danger and uncertainty, but Anubis's presence offers a sense of protection and guidance. He is both a guide and a guardian, navigating the soul through a realm that is both awe-inspiring and intimidating. The heart of Anubis's role in the afterlife is the weighing of the heart ceremony, a scene filled with profound significance and ritual. In this critical moment, the soul stands before the scales of justice, where Anubis holds the balance that will determine its ultimate fate. The heart of the deceased is placed on one side of the scale, while on the other side rests the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and order. As the scale teeters, the tension in the air is palpable. Anubis watches with a keen and solemn eye, his duty being to ensure that the scales are balanced accurately. The heart represents the soul's deeds and intentions during its lifetime, its purity or its sins. The feather symbolizes truth and righteousness. If the heart is lighter than the feather, it means the soul has led a life of virtue and will be granted passage into the blissful fields of Aru. However, if the heart is heavy with wrongdoing, it is devoured by Ammit, the fearsome beast with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. Anubis's interaction with other deities in the afterlife adds another layer of depth to his role. His relationship with Osiris, the lord of the underworld, is particularly significant. While Osiris is the ruler of the afterlife, it is Anubis who carries out the essential tasks of judgment and protection. Their roles are intertwined, with Anubis serving as Osiris's trusted assistant, ensuring that the passage of souls is conducted with the utmost care and fairness. Isis, the goddess of magic and wisdom, also plays a crucial role in the afterlife. She is often depicted aiding Anubis in the mummification process and in ensuring that the soul's journey is smooth. Together with Osiris, Isis, and other deities, Anubis forms a divine team that ensures the proper passage of souls and the maintenance of order in the afterlife. The interactions among these deities reflect a complex web of relationships and responsibilities that underscore the importance of each role in the afterlife. Anubis's work is not solitary, but part of a larger divine plan, where each god contributes to the maintenance of cosmic balance and justice. Anubis's role as the god of the dead is a profound testament to the ancient Egyptians' beliefs in the afterlife. His presence as a guardian and guide, his crucial role in the weighing of the heart ceremony, and his interactions with other deities illustrate the depth of their understanding of life, death, and the journey that follows. In every depiction, every ceremony, and every myth, Anubis stands as a powerful symbol of the transition from the mortal world to the eternal beyond. In the hushed sanctuaries of ancient Egypt, where the solemn rituals of death and rebirth unfolded, Anubis stood as a constant guardian and guide, his role deeply etched into the fabric of funerary practices. The delicate care with which the Egyptians prepared their dead was not merely a matter of custom, but a profound expression of their beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife. Anubis's presence was felt at every step of the burial process. From the moment a person died, he was there, overseeing the sacred rites of mummification. This meticulous process was more than just preservation, it was a spiritual journey to ensure that the deceased could transition smoothly into the next life. Anubis's role in mummification was crucial. With his jackal head symbolizing his association with death and protection, he was believed to oversee every aspect of the process, ensuring that the body was carefully preserved and prepared for its journey to the afterlife. The practice of mummification was an elaborate and sacred ritual. It involved removing the internal organs, drying the body with natron, and then wrapping it in layers of linen. Each step was performed with reverence, as it was believed that the soul would need the body intact for its new life. Anubis's involvement was not just symbolic but practical, as his presence was thought to protect the deceased from the dangers of the afterlife and ensure that their soul was well prepared for the trials ahead. As the centuries passed, Egyptian burial customs evolved, and so did Anubis's role. In the early periods, mummification was a privilege of the elite, but over time, it became more widespread. Anubis's role adapted to these changes, reflecting the growing complexity of Egyptian beliefs about death and the afterlife. During the Old Kingdom, his focus was primarily on overseeing the physical preparation of the body. By the New Kingdom, his responsibilities expanded to include a more significant role in the judgment of the soul. This shift mirrored the broader changes in Egyptian funerary practices, where the emphasis moved from mere preservation to ensuring a favorable judgment in the afterlife. Anubis's influence on funerary practices is also evident in the art and inscriptions found in tombs. The walls of ancient tombs are adorned with vivid depictions of Anubis, each image telling a story of his role in the afterlife. In many tombs, Anubis is shown standing guard over the deceased, or involved in the weighing of the heart, highlighting his importance in the judgment process. These images served both as a reassurance to the living and a guide for the deceased, ensuring that Anubis would be there to protect and guide them. One of the most striking examples of Anubis in tomb art is the depiction of him in the weighing of the heart ceremony. Here, Anubis is often shown with his jackal head, carefully balancing the scales that will determine the fate of the soul. This scene is not merely decorative but deeply symbolic, illustrating the high stakes of the journey to the afterlife and Anubis's central role in ensuring that justice and order prevail. In addition to his appearances in art, Anubis is also mentioned in various inscriptions and texts found in tombs and burial sites. These inscriptions often invoke his protection and guidance, seeking his favor for a smooth passage into the afterlife. They reflect the deep reverence the ancient Egyptians had for Anubis and their belief in his power to influence the fate of the deceased. Anubis's presence in funerary practices is a testament to the profound and intricate nature of Egyptian beliefs about death. His role in mummification, the evolution of burial customs, and his depiction in tomb art all highlight the deep respect and care the ancient Egyptians had for the journey to the afterlife. In every ritual and every image, Anubis stands as a solemn guardian, ensuring that the transition from life to death is conducted with the utmost reverence and care. In the ancient echoes of Egyptian mythology, the figure of Anubis is woven into stories that are as captivating as they are profound. His presence in these myths reveals not just his role as a guardian of the dead, but his deep connections with other gods and the fate of souls. One of the most compelling tales involving Anubis is the story of Osiris, the god of the underworld. The myth of Osiris is a powerful saga of death, betrayal, and resurrection. According to the myth, Osiris, the beloved ruler of Egypt, was betrayed by his envious brother Set. Set tricked Osiris into lying down in a beautifully adorned coffin, which he then sealed shut and threw into the Nile. The coffin drifted away, and Osiris was lost to the world. As Osiris's body floated down the river, it was discovered by the grieving goddess Isis, Osiris's wife. With great sorrow and devotion, Isis sought to restore her husband to life. Anubis, playing a crucial role in this tale, assisted Isis with the mummification of Osiris's body. With his expertise in preserving the dead, Anubis carefully prepared Osiris for his journey into the afterlife. He wrapped Osiris's body in linen and ensured it was properly anointed, a task he performed with reverence and skill. Once mummified, Osiris was resurrected as the ruler of the underworld. Although he could no longer walk the earth, he became the judge of the dead, overseeing the souls who arrived in the afterlife. Anubis's role in this myth underscores his importance as a caretaker of the dead, ensuring that the deceased were prepared and protected on their journey to the next world. Anubis's interactions with other gods in these myths highlight his integral role within the Egyptian pantheon. His relationship with Osiris is particularly notable, as he serves as both a protector and an assistant. While Osiris becomes the god of the afterlife, Anubis is crucial in the early stages of the journey, overseeing the mummification and guiding the souls. In addition to Osiris, Anubis interacts with other deities who play roles in the afterlife. Isis, the goddess of magic and healing, is another key figure. Her devotion to Osiris and her efforts in his resurrection are supported by Anubis, who provides the necessary rites and preparations. Together, they ensure that the deceased are properly cared for and that the balance of the afterlife is maintained. The stories involving Anubis also reveal his interactions with Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. In the crucial weighing of the heart ceremony, Anubis is seen working with Ma'at to assess the worthiness of souls. The feather of Ma'at, representing truth, is balanced against the heart of the deceased to determine their fate. Anubis's role in this ceremony highlights his responsibility in upholding the principles of justice and order in the afterlife. Another poignant myth involves the transformation of Anubis himself. In some versions of Egyptian mythology, Anubis is described as having once been a mortal who was rewarded with godhood for his acts of devotion and service. This story adds a layer of depth to his character, portraying him not just as a divine figure, but as one who has experienced the human journey and understands the trials of mortality. Through these myths, Anubis is portrayed as a figure of immense importance and compassion. His role in the story of Osiris, his interactions with other deities, and the significance of his actions in the afterlife all contribute to a rich tapestry of beliefs about death and the journey beyond. Anubis's presence in these stories is a reminder of the deep reverence the ancient Egyptians had for the mysteries of the afterlife and the divine beings who guided and protected souls on their eternal journey. In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the whisper of the past mingles with the desert breeze, the worship of Anubis took shape in grand temples and solemn rituals. These sacred spaces and ceremonies were dedicated to the god of the dead, honoring his vital role in guiding souls and ensuring their safe passage to the afterlife. Temples dedicated to Anubis were not just places of worship, they were centers of spiritual activity and community. One of the most notable locations was the temple at Sinopolis, located in the city of Anubis. This site was considered the primary center of Anubis's worship, where priests and worshippers gathered to perform rituals in his honor. The temple stood as a beacon of reverence, with its walls adorned with intricate carvings and inscriptions celebrating Anubis's divine role. Visitors to the temple would have felt a profound sense of awe and respect, surrounded by the solemn beauty of the sacred space dedicated to the guardian of the dead. Another significant site was the Temple of Anubis in the city of Kynopolis, where Anubis was venerated as the patron deity. This city was known for its extensive funerary practices, and the temple played a central role in the spiritual life of its inhabitants. The temple complex was a place where the community came together to seek Anubis's protection and blessings for their loved ones who had passed away. Festivals and rituals dedicated to Anubis were deeply ingrained in the spiritual life of ancient Egypt. These ceremonies were not just acts of devotion but moments of communal reflection and connection with the divine. One of the major festivals associated with Anubis was the Festival of the Dead, a time when families gathered to honor their deceased ancestors and seek Anubis's favor. The festival included offerings of food and incense, prayers for the dead, and rituals performed by priests to ensure the deceased's peaceful journey into the afterlife. During these festivals, the air would have been filled with the scent of burning incense and the murmur of prayers, as worshippers gathered to pay their respects. The rituals were performed with great care and precision, reflecting the deep respect the Egyptians had for the process of dying and the journey to the next life. Priests who served Anubis played a crucial role in these ceremonies. Their duties extended beyond mere ritual. They were guardians of the sacred traditions and mediators between the living and the divine. Priests were responsible for maintaining the temple's purity, performing daily offerings, and leading the complex rites associated with death and burial. Their training was rigorous, and their knowledge of the rituals was extensive, ensuring that each ceremony was conducted with the utmost reverence. These priests were also responsible for preparing the bodies of the deceased, a task that involved both physical and spiritual care. They would perform the sacred rites of mummification, ensuring that every step was completed with precision. This preparation was not only about preserving the body, but also about securing a safe passage for the soul. The followers of Anubis, though less prominent in historical records, were no less devoted. They were the ordinary people who sought Anubis's guidance and protection for their deceased loved ones. Their involvement in the rituals and festivals was a testament to the deep connection they felt with the god and their belief in his power to safeguard the souls of the departed. In every aspect of Anubis's worship, from the grand temples to the intimate rituals, there was a profound sense of reverence and devotion. The practices surrounding Anubis were not just religious duties, but acts of deep respect and love for the deceased and a recognition of the importance of the afterlife. Through these temples, festivals, and the dedicated service of priests, Anubis's presence was felt strongly in the lives of the ancient Egyptians, guiding and protecting their souls as they ventured into the unknown. In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the lives of its people were interwoven with the divine, Anubis's influence stretched far beyond the temples and tombs. He was a figure who shaped not only spiritual practices, but also the very fabric of daily life and culture. Art in ancient Egypt often depicted Anubis as a symbol of protection and transition. His jackal-headed form graced the walls of tombs and temples, embodying the deep respect Egyptians had for the afterlife. These images were more than just artistic expressions, they were profound symbols of the hope and belief in a safe journey to the next world. Anubis's presence in art served as a reminder of the divine guidance that would accompany the deceased on their final voyage. His portrayal in elaborate tomb decorations and statues not only honored his role as a guide, but also reassured the living that their loved ones were under his careful watch. In literature, Anubis was often featured in myths and stories that reflected his importance in Egyptian cosmology. These texts, written on papyrus scrolls or inscribed in tombs, told of his role in the weighing of the heart ceremony, where he ensured the fairness and justice of the afterlife. Through these narratives, Anubis's character was brought to life, and his actions were celebrated as both heroic and compassionate. The tales of his deeds were passed down through generations, embedding him deeply into the cultural consciousness of Egypt. Daily life in ancient Egypt was also touched by Anubis's influence. His role as the protector of the dead meant that many people sought his favor for their departed loved ones. Families would include references to Anubis in their personal prayers and rituals, believing that his presence would bring comfort and security to the souls of their ancestors. The reverence for Anubis extended to personal items as well. Amulets and charms bearing his image were worn by the living as a form of protection and to invoke his blessings for the deceased. As time passed and Egyptian culture evolved, the legacy of Anubis found its way into modern media and entertainment. His image has appeared in various forms of popular culture, from books and films to video games and art. In these modern depictions, Anubis is often portrayed as a powerful and enigmatic figure, reflecting the enduring fascination with his role as the guardian of the afterlife. These portrayals bring Anubis's ancient story to new audiences, highlighting his lasting impact on the collective imagination. In literature and films, Anubis often appears as a mysterious and majestic figure, his jackal head a symbol of his ancient power. His role in these stories can vary, from a wise protector to a formidable deity, but his connection to the afterlife remains a central theme. These modern interpretations not only celebrate his historical significance, but also continue to explore the themes of life, death, and the journey beyond. Anubis's legacy extends into contemporary symbolism as well. He represents the enduring human fascination with the afterlife and the quest for understanding what lies beyond death. His image and name evoke a sense of mystery and reverence, linking modern audiences with the ancient beliefs and practices of Egypt. As a symbol, Anubis stands for protection, transition, and the divine guidance that many seek in times of change. The influence of Anubis on Egyptian society was profound and multifaceted. His impact on art, literature, and daily life reflects the deep respect and reverence Egyptians had for him. His legacy continues to resonate in modern culture, where his image and symbolism evoke a powerful sense of connection to the ancient past. Through the ages, Anubis has remained a compelling figure, his story and influence bridging the gap between the ancient and the contemporary, and touching the hearts and minds of people across time. In the shadows of ancient beliefs, the figure of Anubis stands as a powerful symbol of death and the afterlife. Yet, his role and attributes are not unique. Across different cultures, similar deities embody the mysteries of what comes after life. Comparing Anubis with gods from other traditions reveals both striking similarities and intriguing differences. In Greek mythology, Hades reigns over the underworld, much like Anubis. Both deities oversee the realm of the dead and ensure that souls reach their final destinations. However, their roles and portrayals are distinct. Hades is often depicted as stern and distant, a ruler who is more about maintaining order in the underworld than guiding souls compassionately. Anubis, on the other hand, is closely involved in the process of mummification and guiding souls, playing a more hands-on role in the journey to the afterlife. In Hindu mythology, Yama is the god of death and justice. Like Anubis, Yama has the critical role of guiding souls and judging their worth. The similarities between Yama and Anubis are particularly pronounced in their roles as guides for the dead. Both deities are involved in ensuring the deceased are properly cared for and judged. Yet, Yama's role extends beyond mere guidance. He is also a figure of justice and law, presiding over the ethical conduct of souls. While Anubis ensures the souls are prepared for the afterlife, Yama's judgment is more about the moral quality of a person's life. The influence of Anubis extends beyond Egypt, touching other mythologies and cultures. His role as a funerary deity and guardian of the dead finds echoes in various traditions. In some ancient Near Eastern cultures, there are parallels to Anubis's role, where gods or spirits guide and protect souls on their journey. These shared themes suggest that the human fascination with death and the afterlife is universal, leading to similar deities emerging in different cultures. Anubis's impact can also be seen in later traditions and mythologies, where his image and functions are adapted or reflected. In the Roman period, as Egypt and Rome interacted, the figure of Anubis appeared in Roman art and literature, blending with Roman beliefs about the afterlife. His depiction in these contexts shows how deeply ingrained his role was in the broader cultural consciousness. The portrayal of deities associated with death and the afterlife often shares common themes and archetypes. These include the idea of a guide or protector for the deceased, the judgment of souls, and the transition from life to death. These themes reflect the universal human concerns about what happens after death and how to ensure a safe journey for the soul. The role of such deities is not just about overseeing death, but about providing reassurance and ensuring that the journey to the afterlife is secure and fair. In every culture, the deities of death serve as a bridge between the living and the dead, offering comfort and guidance in the face of the unknown. Anubis, with his unique attributes and deep connection to the Egyptian understanding of the afterlife, fits into this broader pattern of human experience and belief. His presence in Egyptian mythology and his influence on other traditions highlight the deep and enduring quest to understand and navigate the mysteries of life and death. In the modern world, the ancient deity Anubis continues to captivate minds and inspire research, bridging the gap between ancient beliefs and contemporary understanding. Scholars and enthusiasts alike have delved into the mysteries of Anubis, revealing layers of meaning and insight into his role and significance. Academic studies have brought new perspectives on Anubis, examining his role not just within Egyptian mythology, but in the broader context of ancient religions. Scholars have pored over ancient texts, inscriptions, and artifacts, piecing together a picture of Anubis's significance in Egyptian society. These studies reveal how Anubis was more than just a funerary deity. He was a central figure in the understanding of death and the afterlife. Researchers analyze how his role evolved over centuries, reflecting changes in religious thought and societal values. Through these academic lenses, Anubis emerges not just as a guardian of the dead, but as a symbol of the profound human concern with what lies beyond death. In popular culture, Anubis has found a new life, transforming from an ancient deity into a figure of fascination and intrigue. Films, books, and video games often portray him as a powerful and mysterious character, blending his ancient role with modern storytelling. These portrayals range from reverent to dramatic, reflecting contemporary interests in mythology and the supernatural. Anubis is depicted as a striking figure, his jackal-headed form symbolizing his enduring connection to the mysteries of the afterlife. Through these modern interpretations, Anubis captures the imagination of new audiences who see him as a figure that bridges ancient wisdom and modern curiosity. However, understanding Anubis and his role in Egyptian mythology is not without its challenges. One major issue is the fragmentary nature of ancient sources. Many texts and inscriptions have been lost or damaged over millennia, making it difficult to piece together a complete picture of Anubis's role and significance. Scholars often must rely on incomplete or ambiguous evidence, leading to debates and differing interpretations. Another challenge is the interpretation of symbols and rituals. The meanings of certain depictions and practices associated with Anubis are not always clear. What one scholar interprets as a symbol of protection, another might see as a marker of judgment. These debates reflect the broader difficulty of understanding ancient beliefs through the lens of modern perspectives. Cultural biases also play a role in the interpretation of Anubis. Modern perspectives may influence how ancient deities are understood, sometimes imposing contemporary ideas onto ancient practices. This can lead to misunderstandings or oversimplifications of Anubis's role and significance in his original context. Despite these challenges, the study of Anubis remains a vibrant field of inquiry, reflecting the ongoing human fascination with the divine and the afterlife. Through scholarly research and popular culture, Anubis's legacy endures, continually reshaped and reinterpreted by each new generation. His presence in both ancient texts and modern media highlights the deep and enduring connection between humanity and the mysteries of life and death. In the dim light of ancient Egypt, Anubis emerges as a figure of profound importance, a guardian whose presence resonates through centuries. His role in Egyptian mythology was not just a duty but a sacred trust, encompassing protection, judgment, and guidance for the souls navigating the unknown journey after death. Anubis was more than a deity. He was the bridge between the world of the living and the realm of the departed, embodying the hopes and fears of a civilization deeply concerned with what lay beyond life. Anubis's significance in Egyptian culture was immense. His role in the afterlife was critical, overseeing the mummification process and ensuring the safe passage of souls. The rituals associated with Anubis were designed to honor the deceased and provide them with the best chance of a favorable judgment. He was a reassuring presence, a divine protector who helped the souls find peace. His depiction in art, with the head of a jackal and the body of a man, symbolized his dual role as both a guardian and a guide, ensuring that the transition from life to death was as smooth as possible. The ceremonial practices involving Anubis were intricate and deeply symbolic. From the embalming rooms to the tombs decorated with his likeness, every aspect of funerary practice reflected his importance. Anubis was intimately involved in the rituals that prepared the dead for their journey, ensuring they were ready to face the judgment of the afterlife. This involvement was not just about the rituals, it was about a profound belief in the continuity of existence beyond death. Anubis's presence was a promise of safety and respect for the departed. Today, Anubis's legacy continues to captivate and inspire. His image and role have transcended the boundaries of ancient Egypt, finding a place in modern media and culture. From films and literature to art and games, Anubis is depicted as a figure of mystery and power, reflecting our ongoing fascination with the afterlife and the unknown. His jackal-headed form, once a symbol of ancient rituals, now stirs curiosity and wonder in new audiences. The continued relevance of Anubis speaks to a universal human experience, the quest for understanding what comes after life. His story, rooted in ancient practices and beliefs, resonates with contemporary themes of death, transition, and hope. Anubis embodies a timeless archetype, a guardian who stands at the threshold between life and death, offering reassurance and guidance. As we reflect on Anubis's role and legacy, we see how this ancient deity remains a powerful symbol of our collective desire to understand and navigate the mysteries of existence. His presence in ancient rituals and modern portrayals underscores a continuous dialogue with the past, connecting ancient wisdom with contemporary curiosity. Anubis is more than a figure from history, he is a reminder of our enduring quest for meaning and comfort in the face of the unknown.